and welcome to tonight's broadcast of the Red Light Truck Series airing on RLN. I'm your host, Jeremy Patterson. I'll be flying solo tonight. Matt wasn't able to make it. Tonight we bring you live coverage from Phoenix International Raceway, where the boys will be racing for 100 laps on this 1 mile, oddly shaped tri-oval. This is a unique track. The dogleg is on the backstretch, and the backstretch the dogleg was recently paved, which allows the drivers to try and gain an advantage at the risk of upsetting their car when they re-enter the banking going into turn 3. So a little quicker to cut that dogleg, a little risky, and we'll see which drivers use it, which ones decide not to, and then how it works out for them. This will be the next to the last race for our season. Only one to go after this, and that will be our season finale at Homestead, Miami, as the drivers prepare for their final chance to become the next Red Light champion. Let's have a look at what happened at last week's finish. Newcomer Jacob Fife led the first 59 laps of the race, but a series of late race cautions put him in a bad position on the final restart. And another newcomer, Tommy Lee, was able to take home the checkered flag on his very first red light race, so congratulations to Tommy on that. And it was quite a wild finish. We had several cars wreck across the finish line. So have a look at our season points so far. This is after 9 races, and these points standings include 8 races since we do have one drop week. So next week's race will include the best 9 races of the season for each of these drivers. Right now, Joshua Buckley, the reigning champion, leads the way with 142 points. Dustin Lee follows just 3 points behind him, and Keith Haney 5 points behind Dustin. So a good close race in the top 3 there. Rounding out your top 10, you have Robert Craze, Timothy Lewis, Kevin O'Brien, John Fershing Jr., James Haney, Damon Gilbert, and William Kirk. So mostly cloudy skies and cold temperatures will provide the maximum grip tonight, which the drivers will definitely appreciate on this low-banked 1 mile track. Turns 1 and 2 on this track have 10 to 12 degrees of banking, a little bit of progressive banking there, and turns 3 and 4 have only 8 to 9 degrees of banking, so not a whole lot of help with the banking here, so it's very easy for the back end to try and come around on you when you're taking these turns. I did some laps earlier, and coming out of turn 4, man, that was just treacherous. I think I spun probably half the laps that I did, so let's hope these drivers are better than I am. Pace speed here is 55 miles an hour. Pit lane speed is 45 miles an hour. And I see a checkered flag up at the top, so that indicates that qualifying has finished. Apologize for that, I had the wrong graphic up. Alright, so qualifying pole is Sean Butler. He's been able to join about half of our races this season. We hope to see him more next season, but you know, work schedules come first. So Sean Butler takes the pole with 26.865. Tommy Lee, John Fershing Jr., and Jacob Fife round out your top 4. So the drivers are getting gridded up on the track now. Lights are off on the pace car. They will be going green on this very first lap here. Run through the starting grid real quick. Row 1, Sean Butler and Tommy Lee. Row 2, John Fershing and Jacob Fife. Row 3, Dustin Lee and Joshua Buckley. Row 4, Teddy Wisniewski and Glenn Sidman. Row 5, Robert Craze and Tim Lewis. Row 6, Kevin O'Brien and James Haney. Pace car ducks off and we get ready to go green. Still side by side coming down the backstretch. They all dive into the dogleg. Ooh, one of the drivers tagged the wall a little bit. I didn't see who that was. Still side by side for the lead between Tommy Lee and Sean Butler. And it looks like Tommy Lee will get credit for leading that first lap. Oh, Fershing gets down on the apron a little bit going between 3 and 4. That's dangerous. That can easily cause the back end to come around on you. So drivers are mostly singled up now after a couple laps. Tommy Lee putting the pressure on Sean Butler. Looks like that was the 29 at Teddy Wisniewski who got into the wall right there on the start. You can see the side of his car is a little tore up. Let's hope it doesn't affect his handling too bad. Back up front, still single file, but man, these guys are close together. Further back in the field, Dustin Lee takes a dog leg. Robert Craze does not. Looks like Robert got a little bit ahead of Dustin. And now Dustin's battling Glenn Sidman for that 8th position. Glenn looks to the inside, coming down the front stretch, going into turn 2. He has to back off quite a bit, though, to get into that turn. It's so flat up there. Both of them take the dog leg. They're still going to come out of the dog leg on side by side going into turn 3. Oh, here comes Tim Lewis out of nowhere. Man, he flew up there fast. Tim Lewis now on the bumper at Glenn Sidman. He's going to be putting pressure on him. And side by side action again for the lead. Tommy Lee is going to take it from Sean Butler. And here comes Fershing. He's going to go around Butler too. I don't know if Butler maybe slid up the track a little bit. He lost 3 positions on that lap. So new leader, Tommy Lee. Caution is out. Looks like Tim Lewis lost it coming out of turn 4, and that is a slippery track. Let's have a look at what happened here. Tim comes out of turn 4 and he tries to hang on to it. You just see the back end just come right around on him. So easy to do here. Looks like no one else got caught up in that, so good on that. We do have 2 resets, so Tim will be able to get his truck fixed up and get back out there on the track and continue competing. So let's have a look and see if anybody's going to pit. We got 9 laps on these tires. Pace car brings him around, and it looks like all the leaders are going to pit. Very tough pit road here. It's curvy. It's kind of hard to see your pit stall. Yeah, pretty much everybody's going to come down here. And I think Kevin O'Brien stayed out, so he's going to stay out and get a lap lead. I'm guessing he's going to pit after picking up that lead lap. So all drivers in their pit stalls starting to come out here. Looks like John Fershing did a 2-tire stop. He only had a 9.3 second pit stop. Everybody else took 4. So Fershing will come out ahead of everyone else, but he's going to have older left side tires. And lights are off on the pace car, so I guess Kevin O'Brien is going to stay out. Everybody's going to get doubled up for the restart here. Looks like Tommy Lee and Robert Craze are going to be on that inside line behind Kevin O'Brien. I think that's Robert Craze. No, that's a different car. All right, pace car ducks off. We get ready to go green. Wow, excellent start by Kevin O'Brien. He got way out there, and it didn't look like he jumped the start either. I mean, I saw the green light go on, and he took off immediately after, so good job by Kevin. Meanwhile, Teddy Wisniewski and Josh Buckley are side by side going into turn 2. Side-by-side action up in front too. Interesting watching some of these drivers taking the dog leg and some of them don't. We see Kevin O'Brien going really wide. Oh, he almost clipped the wall there between turns 1 and 2. He held on to it. And he's fallen to the back pretty quick here on those older tires. However, he did get the lead 3 laps, so good job getting those bonus points. Tommy Lee now leads the race. Followed closely behind by John Fershing and Josh Buckley. Lee just joined the league a couple weeks ago, so he's not really in the running for the championship here, but hey, a win's a win, and it's always fun to run out front. Back there in 3rd place is Joshua Buckley. Now, he is the current points leader, and he is the current reigning champion from last season. So if he can keep his nose up in the front here and keep it clean, he'll have a good leg up going into that final race at Homestead. Oh, Buckley gets loose coming out of turn 4. He holds on to it, but it does cost him a little bit of ground. And Sean Butler is going to try and capitalize on that as he looks to the inside. Not quite this time, but I think he's going to try and get his nose in there pretty soon. And I was talking to the drivers ahead of time, before the race, and they were telling me that once you slide your tires a little bit, it's kind of hard to recover. They heat up, and it's just like they don't want to cool back down. Just go on board with Sean Butler, dive down into the dog leg. You can see how the truck gets upset a little bit once you get onto that flat spot off of the banking and then back up onto the banking. It does kind of jostle you around a little bit, so you want to be careful doing it, but if you can hang on to it, it does buy you a little bit of time. Leader's still fighting hard. Looks like Buckley has recovered from that little slide. And he is right back on the tail of John Pershing. So easy to make a little mistake here. Buckley looks to the inside. He dives down low on the dog stretch. See if it gives him the advantage he needs to get around Pershing. Not quite this time. Sean Butler is still threatening Buckley. He's not giving him any, he's not letting up on him at all, that's for sure. And Jacob Fife, he's now in the picture. Jacob led a good portion, the first 59 laps of last week's race, and looked like he was going to run away with it, and unfortunately had a couple of cautions come out, and things just didn't go his way, and he wasn't able to win that race. But very strong driver. Very glad to have him here, and look forward to watching him week after week. Side by side for the lead. John Pershing makes it around Tommy Lee. New leader coming across the finish line. John Pershing. Meanwhile, Buckley and Lee are side by side. I'm sorry, yeah, that's right, Buckley and Lee. And Sean Butler right up in there with him. So Tommy Lee might be having a little bit of fall off now. He just lost 2 positions on that lap. Very close racing here, these top 5. And it looks like Jacob Fife is going to look to the inside of Sean Butler. Across the dog leg. They're going to go side by side going into turn 3, and Fife just might complete that pass, and he does. Man, absolutely amazing racing. This is a lot of fun to watch. And leaders are coming up on the first lap car of James Haney. You see James down there on the dog leg, and they're just going to stay up high. Actually, that's not the dog leg. He was on the apron. They haven't got the dog leg yet. So good job by Haney staying out of the way there. And looks like we might have a new leader, and that's going to be the number 2 car, Josh Buckley. Side-by-side race for the 3rd place position. Oh, close racing. Jacob Fife, Tommy Lee, door to door. we got side-by-side action with Teddy Wisniewski, Sean Butler. Sean Butler is going to make that pass on the outside. So these top 6 are all within 0.3 seconds of each other. Pretty good. A decently long green flag run here, and they're all still pretty close together. And man, they are just battling left and right, side by side, changing positions. Oh, little slide by Jacob Fife coming out of turn 4. He did a good job holding on to it. Didn't cost him a whole lot of ground, and it looked like he was almost completely sideways there. Oh no, John Pershing gets loose, he's in the wall. He collects it up, no caution. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Go back and watch a replay of that. You see him get loose here coming out of turn 4, and his wheel's all the way to the right. He hangs on to it, but smacks that inside wall. Very narrow track here, not a whole lot of room for error. And fortunately, nobody else gets into him. He doesn't spin around or anything, so the race stays green. That's going to hurt his chances for the win here, but he's now running back in 6th position, 4 seconds behind 5th place of Teddy Wisniewski, 5.9 seconds behind the leader. And it looks like the left side of his truck is tore up pretty bad. Meanwhile, up front, Joshua Buckley has created quite a gap. He's got almost a 1 second lead on the 2nd spot of Jacob Fife. See that big gap there between Buckley and Fife. And right behind Fife, Lee and Butler battling hard again. And Teddy Wisniewski has fallen back from the pack a little bit as well. And here we see a battle for the 7th position between Tim Lewis and Glenn Sidman. Glenn just 0.2 seconds behind Tim. And here we go with, looks like Tommy Lee's gonna, or Teddy Wisniewski's gonna make that pass on, I'm sorry, that was, Sean Butler made the pass on Tommy Lee, the 33. It's kind of hard to see these numbers from the blimp cam here. And side-by-side action for the lead between Jacob Fife and Josh Buckley. Fife, like I said earlier, very, very fast driver, very strong contender. And it looks like he's finally made his way up to the front here. And if he can get around Buckley, he is going to lead a lap, at least one. I have a feeling he's going to lead a lot more than that, though. New leader, Jacob Fife. Sean Butler looks to the inside, and he's going to take a spot, too. He's going to go right along with Jacob and pass Buckley. All these guys getting their turn at a lead. So we've had 7 lead changes, 6 different leaders so far this race. And Jacob Fife working hard to put some distance between himself and the second place car of Sean Butler. I gotta say, after seeing Fife's performance last week and knowing Butler's typical performance, I'm excited to see these two drivers battle it out, and it looks like in a few laps we might actually get to see that. Butler now just 0.4 seconds behind Jacob Fife. Tommy Lee and Josh Buckley, the closest battle going on the track right now. Just a 0.2 second gap between them. And most everybody else has gotten pretty sorted out. Up, spoke too soon. Here we go. Sean Butler looking to the inside of Jacob Fife. Somebody tagged the wall back there. Let's hope a caution doesn't come out. I want to see this battle play out. Butler doing a great job putting the pressure on Fife. So have Buckley and Lee battling it out for the 3rd and 4th position. So John Furshing Jr. has lost a lap. Actually, he's down 2 laps now. He pitted and got repairs. You can see the left side of his truck is all fixed up now. So best he can do is hope for a couple lucky dogs, if we have some more cautions, and get back on the lead lap. Good driver, just one little mistake is all it takes. I would like to see him back up in there in the mix, though. A lot of fun watching all these guys together. Butler is falling back off of Fife just a little bit. Let's go on board with Sean Butler and see what he's seeing. I tell you what, coming out of this turn 4 right here is so very difficult. It's so tempting to get on the gas a little too early. And this is one of those tracks where once the back end starts coming around on you, there's no saving it. It just takes off. It really gives no warning or anything like that. Well, I say that, however, some of these drivers will just show me up because I've seen a couple of them get a little sideways and do hang on to it. So great driving by them. But yeah, it is just absolutely difficult in this spot right here. And especially, you know, Sean's sitting there looking at the leader right in front of him. You know he wants to go for it. Very tempting. Oh, he's gaining some ground. Meanwhile, we got a couple lapped cars up ahead. Let's see how they handle lapped traffic. Coming up on the halfway mark. Lap 50 out of 100. And there you see Kevin O'Brien. He is 2 laps down, not far ahead of the leader. And there you can see Kevin O'Brien and our leader, Jacob Fife, in the same picture. So a couple more laps, they'll be passing Kevin. Remember, Kevin did not pit yet. Well, actually, I take that back. He did pit. He had to pit under green. He did not pit during the caution. He moves to the inside. Looked like he scraped the wall a little bit there, but moves to the inside and let these guys by. And Sean Butler looks to the inside. Not quite enough on that lap, but man, he is really putting the pressure on Fife. And the next lap driver is Timothy Lewis in the number 4 truck. Again, not too far ahead of Jacob Fife, so these leaders are starting to put some guys a couple laps down here. And your top 3 still all within a second of each other. Jacob Fife, Sean Butler, and Josh Buckley. Can't say I'm too surprised to see these 3 guys running up there. All 3 of them very good, very fast drivers. Clean and consistent drivers too. That's important. Couple spins is all it takes to completely take you out of the running. So they're able to hang on to it. Everyone gets in a little mistakes here and there, but as long as for the most part you're consistent, you'll end up near the front every time. All right, not far behind Tim Lewis there. So Jacob Fife has now led the most laps of the race with 18. Second most laps led is Tommy Lee with 14, then Joshua Buckley with 11. So Fife hasn't quite locked in that bonus point yet. Oh, caution's out. Looks like Kevin O'Brien got a little loose coming out of 4 and hit those barrels there on the pit entry. Fortunately, nobody got caught up in that. Let's have a look at Kevin O'Brien. Wow, yeah, he smacked those barrels pretty hard. Now let's see who that was. Someone barely cleared him there. Here you see him starting to get loose, coming off of turn 4. Front left barely touches that apron. And back end starts to come around on him. He almost ended up shooting down pit road. And just smashed right into those barrels. And that 29 Ream truck of Teddy Wisniewski, wow, he scraped the wall. You saw the sparks fly there. Scraped the wall getting around him, but fortunately did not clip Kevin O'Brien on that. So leaders all coming down pit road. And with this pit stop, if it stays green, they will be able to finish the race. They'll have enough fuel. All right, looks like 4 tire pit stops for all the drivers. Jacob Fife wins the race off of pit road. Kevin O'Brien still hasn't pitted yet. I think he's still waiting for the pit lane to open for lapped cars. And no, he's going to stay out. Oh, he actually pitted. Well, he pitted early, so he's going to get a penalty for that, which I think he's going to be in the back anyway, so that's why he'll go ahead and take that penalty. But he was not on the lead lap, and I don't believe that the pit lane was open for. I think it was only open for lead lap cars. But I think it's just an end of the line penalty, and it looked like he was in the back anyway, so might as well come down there and get it fixed up and not have to wrestle it around the track one more time. So it looks like they'll have just under 40 to go when we go green here. I gotta say, with how long that green flag run was, pretty impressed with how exciting the racing still was. Always something fun to watch. Cars going side by side, passes for the lead. So lights are now off on the pace car as the drivers get doubled up coming around this last pace lap, and we'll go side by side green flag racing again. So 2 cautions so far after 60 lap. Still have 7 lead changes. I apologize for that. I had the wrong graphic up. I clicked winner, and clearly the race is not over yet. Race goes green. Sean Butler looks to the inside of Jacob Fife. He's not going to be able to complete that. Meanwhile, we got side-by-side action with Tommy Lee and Joshua Buckley right behind them for that 3rd position. Woo, close racing. Jacob Fife makes his way out to the front again. He's going to continue to lead. But he's got a lot more pressure now. Everybody's got fresh tires. Everyone got a second chance. They're right back on his tail. Sean Butler gets right on Fife's tail, and he looks to the inside. They're going to go side by side going into turns 3 and 4. And Sean Butler is going to complete the pass. Side-by-side action right behind him. Tommy Lee looks to the inside of Jacob Fife. Sean Butler's going to use that to his advantage. Gain a little bit of ground here. Caution is out. Let's see what happened. Oh, looks like John Fershing lost control this time. He lost it completely and smacked the inside wall. Coming out of turn 4 again. I tell you what, that is a killer. Let's go on board with John Fershing here. See what this looks like from his point of view. Coming out of that turn, right here, you know it's over. There's nothing you can do about it. Back end starts coming around on you, and you're just going to get into the wall. So, bad luck for Fershing again. First time he was able to hang on to it and scrape that inside wall a little bit. This time, probably did a lot of front end damage on that truck. And I'm not sure he's going to have any resets left either. So Sean Butler, new official leader. He's only led 7 laps so far. Currently, Jacob Fife has led 26 laps, putting him in the top position for that extra point for leading the most laps. And if Sean wants to take that point away from Jacob Fife, he doesn't have a whole lot of time left to do it. Tim Lewis will take his wave around. And I believe this may put him back on the lead lap. I'm not sure if it's going to put him on the lead lap. I think it is. Yep, Tim Lewis back on the lead lap with that wave around. And it looks like John Fershing will be able to stay on the lead lap as well as he comes around the back end of the field here. And our only lap drivers, Robert Craze and Kevin O'Brien, both come down pit road. So pretty impressed with the racing so far tonight. It's such a difficult track. I mean, really, really difficult track. These guys they're not pussyfooting around here. They're battling pretty hard, left and right. So the lights are off on the pace car. Drivers get doubled up. Sean Butler has now led 10 laps, so he's got to catch up 16 more laps led if he wants to get that extra point off of Jacob Fife. So pace car will bring him around turns 3 and 4. We are back to green flag racing. Side-by-side action. Jacob Fife wobbles a little bit. Sean Butler capitalizes and takes the lead. Buckley and Sidman both move in to try and take that spot from Fife as well. Sidman now side by side with Jacob Fife. Points leader Josh Buckley in the second position. And Glenn Sidman is going to make that pass. And now it looks like Tommy Lee's working on Fife. I saw Jacob Fife wobble on that first lap, and just like they said earlier, once you heat those tires up, it's hard to cool them back down. New leader again, Sean Butler. Teddy Wisniewski working on James Haney. Back up front, you see Joshua Buckley trying to utilize that dog leg to get a little bit of a gain on Butler, but actually it looked like it did give him a little bit of a gain there. He's only about 1.5 car lengths behind him now. Good job by Buckley, giving Sean Butler a run for his money now. Glenn Sidman, Jacob Fife, once again battling. Now Fife's going to take that position back from Sidman. That is the third position. Oh no, we got a spinner. Looks like James Haney spun and hit the wall, but it did not bring out a caution. Let's go back and see what happened there. You see him get loose. Yeah, got loose and hit that inside wall again on the front stretch. He's not the first driver who's done that tonight. And he collected it back up and got back out there on the track. Still on the lead lap. Joshua Buckley wiggles a little bit coming out of turn 4. Turn 4 is eating these drivers up, and I saw it coming because I had such a difficult time with that turn when I was doing some practice laps. It feels very floaty, like as you come out of the turn, the back end just starts floating on you a little bit, and before you know it, it's gone too far and there's no saving it. Glenn Sidman, a newcomer to our league. He's been with us 3 weeks now. Told me a couple weeks ago that oval racing's kind of new to him. It's not really hasn't been his thing, but I gotta tell you, he's been doing a hell of a job with us so far, and we definitely enjoy having him race with us. He started in the 8th position and has worked his way up to 5th, and he's only 3 seconds behind the leader. Let's go back up front. Sean Butler is starting to pull away from Josh Buckley. He has now led 21 laps, so Jacob Fife back in the 3rd position may be losing that bonus point for most laps led. Down to 20 to go here at Phoenix International Raceway. We've had 8 lead changes so far. Only 3 cautions after running 80 laps. And I would not be too surprised to see turn 4 bite another driver or two before it's all over. I'm sure Sean doesn't want to see that. Especially running out front there. But as these drivers get more and more laps on these tires, it just gets harder and harder to get around that turn without losing the back end. So James Haney, last car, still on the lead lap. Still got a pretty good distance between himself and Sean Butler, so I don't think he's in too much danger of getting lapped anytime soon, depending on how much damage he has on that truck. Oh, caution's out. Looks like that was the 33 of Tommy Lee. Oh no. He just did a 360 and kept right on going, but it did bring out the caution. Let's see the replay here. And you can see the front left side gets onto the apron a little bit. And I'll bet you never guess what turn it is. Yeah, right there's that spot. That's that uh-oh moment where you know you're not saving it. He almost saved it there and came around. Wouldn't have brought out the caution if there wasn't a car right behind him there, but once you're turned sideways like that and the car's coming up on you, the caution will fly. And just barely misses that inside wall with the front of the truck and doesn't hit it with the back of the truck either. It does a nice little 360 slide around there and collects it up and keeps right on going. And nobody else gets caught up in it. So if you're going to wreck, that's the way to do it. Just spin out and not touch anything. Pretty incredible here at Phoenix to be able to do that too. So leaders will come down pit road. Looks like almost everybody's coming down pit road here. And we'll have probably, I'd say, 12 laps to go on the restart. Got a 2-tire stop there by Jacob Fife. 2-tire stop by Tim Lewis. Sean Butler takes 4. Buckley takes 4. This will be an interesting restart here. So we've got Jacob Fife and Tim Lewis both on 2 tires in the front row. And right behind them will be Sean Butler and Josh Buckley on 4 tires. Kevin O'Brien right there behind the pace car. He'll end up getting a wave around here. Yeah, when there's only one car that takes 2 tires, let's say the lead car only takes 2 tires, and it's easy to kind of guess what's going to happen. You know, the inside row might be a little slower. People try and pass them on the outside. But here you have side-by-side front row. Both of them only took 2 tires. I tell you what, Tim Lewis, he's one of those sleeper drivers. You don't see him at all the whole race, and then the last 15, 20 laps, you say, where the hell did he come from? And he's right up there in the mix with everybody else. He just keeps his nose to the grinder and goes for it. Lights are off on the pace car. Coming around, doubled up, ready to go green. And it looks like Tim Lewis will be starting from the lead spot there, unless Fife decided to start from the outside. Side-by-side action all the way back. Jacob Fife on the outside. Looks like he gets around Tim Lewis. They're going to go 3 wide for just a moment there. Oh! Oh, no! Buckley gets into the back end of Tim Lewis. Tim hangs on to, oh, then he got clipped and sent into the wall. Oh, no. Bad luck for Tim. They got all bunched up there for a little bit, and it looked like Buckley just kind of got in the back of Tim, and kind of almost exact same thing happened last week with Buckley getting in the back end of Tim Lewis. Tim just kind of got jostled around there. He did a great job almost saving it, and just barely got clipped, and that sent him up into the wall. Top 7 all singled up here. '88 is Sean Butler's working on the 51 of Dustin Lee. Oh, they make contact, just about sending Dustin around. A little bump and run there. I don't think that, oh no, and they're going around. That's going to bring out a caution. Teddy Wisniewski goes around. Wow, it's getting rough out there. Let's have a look at what happens here. You see Butler get into the back end of Lee. Butler slows way down. And as Lee comes back up, he just barely clips Wisniewski. And they all go flying. Fershing, good job dodging that one. And Wisniewski just kind of spins around there. Not too bad of a wreck, but that will bring out another caution. I just hope these guys aren't at each other's throats down there. It's getting to the end of the race. Everyone's anxious. Everyone wants to take home that win. Let's just hope they keep it friendly. We did talk before the race, and everyone agreed that, you know what, mistakes are going to be made. Honestly, this far into the race, I'm surprised it hasn't happened until now. We've had a couple of mistakes these last couple of laps. Involving car-to-car action. We've had a couple spins that were just, you know, only one person involved. And really haven't had car-to-car contact up until now, and now everyone's getting antsy trying to get up there, so hopefully they can keep it cool and we'll keep it green here for the rest of the race. Robert Craze takes his wave around. Doesn't look like anybody pitted. They've only got a couple laps on these tires and not many laps left to go. Track position's very important right now. Nobody wants to give any up. Yeah, sometimes that kind of thing just happens when you get close bumper to bumper racing like that. One person gets boggled up a little bit and the whole train comes piling in. Lucky that was just a little bump. Little slide, little spin, and not too major. I think this time by they'll get the 1 to green. Looks like they're already starting to get sort of doubled up. They're anxious. They want to race. I just want to see this go green to the end. It may or may not happen. We'll see. Robert Craze coming back around to the back of the pack here, and he'll get back on the lead lap. So right now Kevin O'Brien, the only truck not on the lead lap. Lights go off on the pace car. Drivers get doubled up, ready for the start here. want to be. 4 laps to go when they take the green. Jacob Fife and Tommy Lee up front. Sean Butler, Dustin Lee right behind them. John Fershing and Joshua Buckley right behind them, and we are green flag. Side by side, all the way back. Looks like they're going to hang on to it. Tight battle between Fife and Lee. And it almost looked like they went 4 wide back here in the back, but they got it figured out. Fife and Lee almost get together. They do get together. Fife goes around. Oh, he's in the wall. They're wrecking. They're all wrecking down the back stretch. There's the big one. Let's go back and see what happens here. Looked like Lee might have tagged the back end of Fife just a little bit. Right there on that left rear quarter. And that was enough to loosen Fife up. He overcorrected just a bit, almost held on to it. Slid around, and then everybody else come piling in. Several cars involved in that one. Let's go on board with James Haney. And see what he saw. This is a bad place to be. You see somebody getting loose up front there, and then you see a bunch of smoke. Oh, Haney kind of lost it out of 4. Looked like he gunned it to try and get around the wreck, and lost it back in when he did. And unfortunately, this one will finish under caution. And your winner, 2 weeks in a row, will be Tommy Lee. Unfortunate turn of events here for these drivers. A lot of good, fun racing early on. Just got a little messy there near the end. No one really likes to finish under caution. And it happens every now and then. So look at our summary here. 6 cautions, kind of a lot for our league, but you know what? 100-lap race, very difficult track. Not really too unheard of, to be honest. Really, really hard to get around here. And the majority of our cautions were just from spins. So the winner at Phoenix International Raceway, Tommy Lee, he is 2 for 2 in the Red Light League. So a good job by Tommy. Top 3, Tommy Lee, Sean Butler in second, and Dustin Lee, the 51 truck, in third. Dustin Lee was kind of another sleeper to driver tonight. You know, you normally see him running up front. I really haven't seen much of him, and here he is on the podium. So here's your results from Phoenix International Raceway. Tommy Lee, Sean Butler, Dustin Lee, John Fershing, Joshua Buckley, Glenn Sidman, Tim Lewis, Robert Craze, Jacob Fife, Teddy Wisniewski, James Haney, and Kevin O'Brien. So we'll go ahead and get a word here with Tommy Lee and Sean Butler and Dustin Lee. Tommy Lee, 2 for 2. Tell me about the race, man.
I definitely by far didn't have the truck to beat tonight. I mean, Butler and Josh and Jacob, all 3 had the trucks to beat tonight. Just had that last pit stop. Jacob took 2, I took 4, and I think Sean took 4. And we had a little stack up going into 3 on the restart and give me the track position to restart second on the outside of him. And we come out of 2. I had a run up on the outside. I let him clear me getting into 3, and I was going to cross him over coming out of 4. And when I got off in there, he got on the brakes a little bit harder than I thought and got into him a little bit. I hate that it happened because I was really excited to see how his 2 tires was going to work out there versus the 4. And of course, the clean race that we had between all 4 of us up there battling as hard as we were, I hate it ended like that. I really do, Jeremy.
Yeah, and I've driven you in other leagues and everything, and I know you're not the kind of driver who's just going to dump someone for a win. Sometimes things just happen. It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate for him too. I mean, he's been a really fast driver the last couple of races. The luck just hasn't gone his way. And I was excited to see that start, just like you said, with the 2 up front who didn't get tires, and then the 2 right behind him who did, or two tires versus 4. Sometimes it just doesn't play out, But we had a lot of fun watching you guys race early on. Man, good battles side by side, and I hope you enjoyed it too.
Oh, I did. I mean, like I say, it just goes to show you the caliber of drivers that's over here, that you can race that hard side by side that many laps, and you don't have to worry about, is this guy going to wreck me or not? I mean, it's just, you can run up there side by side as hard as you want to with them, and you don't have that worry.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're shooting for here, and I think we're really lucky to have such a good group of drivers that you can do that. You can run side by side, like you said, especially at a track like Phoenix. I mean, come on, man, this track is hard.
Yeah, to me, it seemed like I got a bad set of tires to stop before this one, where, I mean, the first 10 laps, it just felt like there was 200 pounds of air in the right front tire. It wouldn't turn, but once it finally got some heat in them, they kind of came around a little bit.
You can send Goodyear some hate mail.
Got that right.
All right, well, thanks for racing with us, Tommy. You got anybody you want to say hi to?
Just like I say, just a big thank you to you guys out there, putting the league on, putting the races on. Great racing, great fun. I'm glad to be able to be a part of it. Once again, I want to send my apologies out to Jacob Bear for the incident going in turn 3 right there. I really wanted to race it out with him. I know we had Sean Butler right there on the tailgate, and of course he's always been a real tough one. So I knew it would have been a real good finish there for you.
Yep. We'll shoot for it next week. Next week's our Homestead finale, so we'll see how it turns out, and we'll try our best not to have something like that happen. But good racing overall, and we're glad to have you with us, Tommy.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Sean Butler, I thought you were going to take it, man. I wanted to see you and Pershing, or you and Fife battle that out, and you did battle for a little while. Tell me about your race.
Well, in the beginning there, I was, tell everyone's real racy, and I just kind of didn't want to use up my tires. I kind of dropped back there and staved it up, and a lot of people were driving it real hard. And I was able to drive right back up to second, and I was just kind of running there, and I was trying to debate if I was in the pit, take tires, not take tires, just feel out. I was just thinking what I was going to do, and then that caution came out, and I threw it all out the window. But, man, after that thing went green and I checked out, I thought I had it in the bag, and that other caution come out, and then we get all stacked up, and it was just crazy at the end, man. I didn't know if I had anything for Tommy once I saw that happen going in 4, but I was going to give it a shot, but it's just one of those things. This doesn't happen sometimes.
Yeah, it did get a little crazy. The first half or so of the race, actually a little bit more than the first half, man. It was a good, clean race, and I just really, really enjoyed watching you guys side by side, changing lead position, changing, second, third, and fourth. Good, clean racing, and it was really enjoyable to watch. I hope you enjoyed racing it.
Oh, it was a great time. I had a great time with these guys out here tonight. I know Tommy Lee and Timmy and Dustin and stuff, and I haven't really raced with these other guys, but they were awesome, clean races. We had a good time, and I'm hoping I can do more of these on Monday nights with you guys.
Yeah, we're always glad to see you pop in. It's like a little surprise. Oh, Sean Butler made it. So, we look forward to seeing you whenever you can make it.
Yeah, I look forward to it, man. There's always some good racing, and I enjoy it. So hopefully I can be here next week for your season finale.
All right, then. Anybody you want to say hi to?
Just hi to you up there in the booth watching this. I wish we could race with you because we used to have some good races with you, and just say hi to all the guys out there on the racetrack. We had a good, clean race, and look forward to doing it again.
All right, we appreciate having you, Sean. We'll catch you later.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Dustin Lee, man, where'd you come from? All of a sudden you're in third place. What happened?
Well, pretty much just ran at the back. I had someone relief driving for me there for the first 3/4 of the race. My back is really jacked up right now. I can barely even sit down for like 5 minutes. But the last caution there, well, 2 cautions ago, I was able to, get in and turn some laps there and salvage I guess a 3rd place out of it.
Yeah, I hate to hear that, man. Back problems they're the worst, but you did a good job getting back up in there. Got in a little bit of a tangle there near the end, but looks like you recovered pretty well.
Yeah, I expected not to do very good tonight anyways, but yeah, it's just one of those things, getting there a little too hot and everything. But yeah, all in all, I'm satisfied with the 3rd place finish after, way I feel and the way things went.
Yeah, you did a good job, man. So we're glad to have you racing with us, and for what time you can race with us. And anybody you want to say hi to out there?
Yeah, shout out to teammate Damon there. Didn't make it tonight. Off-road racing, Outhill Welding, and you guys for putting this on. And have a lot of fun here racing with you guys.
All right, sounds good. And we look forward to seeing you more on the track, and hopefully you can join us next week for Homestead for the finale. And you are up there in the points, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yep, looking forward to it. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you, Dustin. All right, so good clean race early on, a little bit messy at the end, but good hard racing, always fun to watch. And the drivers all seem to like it, and we like putting these races on for everybody as well. And as you can see on our schedule, that's 9 out of 10 races we've completed so far. And next week we will go to Homestead, Miami for the finale, the season finale. And if you remember, as we said in the beginning, now these points are not updated for this current race. That'll get updated here in a little bit. However, I think Dustin Lee's, he might move up into that 1st position now since he finished 3rd place on this race. But good close race between the top 3, and we look forward to them battling it out. We will update the points here in just a little bit and post them on the website. And that is redlightleague.com. And you can go there and get schedule, standings, photos, and more. Look at our YouTube page and our Facebook page. Subscribe to our YouTube, like us on Facebook. We put some announcements out, and all of our broadcasts get uploaded to YouTube as well. And just a reminder, next week, the schedule's a little bit different, just like it was this week. Practice will start at 7 p.m., qualifying will be at 9 p.m., and the race will go off at 9:05. So we pushed the race back about a half hour and gave the guys a little bit more time to practice on these last couple of races. And if you or any driver you know would like to race along with us, you see the good driving that we have here. We have just a few more slots available. We're not going to be having giant fields or anything, so another 5 or so drivers, and we're going to lock it up. So get in there, log on to iRacing.com, go to the leagues page, search for Red Light Racing, and apply. And until next week at Homestead, y'all have a good week.